Hi and welcome everyone on this new episode of Binas Artwork Coloring. Today I want to show you, as you can see, some different blending techniques with different types of colored pencils and on different types of paper. I'm using here, as you can see, the 160 gram paper as well as the 80 gram paper, which is the regular printer paper, because some of you probably print coloring pages for themselves, and I just want to show you the difference between a good quality paper and a cheap printer paper, so that you can see how different the colors are working. And as you can see, the whiteness of the papers are different. That's because the stronger paper I have here isn't this white. It's a little bit ivory, which I prefer for coloring. I think that it's more beautiful if the paper isn't that white, but you can choose the paper for yourself. But just to let you know, this is complete white and this is a little bit ivory. And as you can see, both papers are totally identically, and we will use the techniques burnishing, blender pencil, white pencil, and Odourless White Spirit. And for burnishing, you can use the colors themselves, or you can use a burnishing pencil, something like from Derwent. They have burnisher pencils, but you can use the colors themselves just like you prefer. And blender pencils are there from different types of brands. I mostly use the blender pencil from Derwent, but Prismacolor has their own blender pencil, which is here. And the Odourless White Spirit I'm using is this one here from Talens, but of course you can use any type of brand you want. So, and if you are interested to know what type of pencils I'm using, the numbers, I will write it down in the description below. So here we go. I'm starting with the Castell Art Supply pencil. It's the soft series, and I'm starting with Scarlet Red. So here we go. So for all of you who are wondering how it is to work with these Castell Art Supplies pencils, I would say they are, on this type of paper, a little bit hard to apply. They are pretty much strong, and I really have to press hard to get the color on the paper. So now I'm changing into orange. So, as I told you before, you can burnish the color by pressing it hard into the paper so that you won't be able to see much white anymore, but you really have to press hard to don't see the white anymore. So you really have to use lots of power. So that's one way to burnish. But it's really hard, in my opinion, to burnish like the color that hard into the paper. You really need lots of pressure to do so. And I'm always using the lightest color to blend the other colors as well. So here you are with the burnishing technique. So let's move on to the blender pencil, and I'm using the one from Derwent. So let's see how that works. So now I'm using the blender pencil. And I'm always starting with the lighter color and moving forward to the darker one. And you really should blend the colors in the end when you are sure you want to leave it like that way, because it will be pressed into the paper and it will be hard to add more color to it. And as you can see, here are some there's some dust because of, I don't know if you can see it, I'm coming closer to the camera, so here is a little bit dust. So that's because the color was burnished into the paper. So you really have to be careful that dust isn't flying everywhere. So now I'm using the Odourless White Spirit, and I'm using these paper wipers. In German we say Papierwischer, and so I'm really tipping a short amount, and then just from the light to the dark. And as you can see, what it does is it softens the color so it blends smoothly to it. So the pencils work much better with the expensive paper, but I found them scratchy in some point, and I really had to press hard to get the color on the paper. So that wasn't really good. Blending works okay with the cheap paper. It's a little bit wet, still wet, so we cannot compare them really to each other, but pretty similar. Using white pencil is pretty similar in both. Same goes to, I would say, the blender pencil, but here is a big difference in burnishing, that you can get more colors out of the paper when you are using the expensive paper. So now I'm done, and we can compare it to each other. And in total, of course, blending on the cheap paper didn't work that well as on the good paper. And you really can tell that Prismacolor and Caran have the most stronger coloration, but the orange from Polychromos is more vibrant than from the others. And of course, Castell Art Supplies is really the less vibrant and the less colorful, and it was really hard to get the color on the paper here. So it didn't matter if it was the good paper or the cheap paper. You really see some white spots if you look closely. Whatever type of technique I was using, it didn't blend well. But the others worked quite good, and I really have to say I love this blending here from red into orange from Caran. So that's quite surprising for me to see how beautiful they blended, and you can see no white spots in here, so that's really beautiful. So that's the result on the good paper, as you can see. And this here is the cheap paper, and I really have to say, no matter what type of brand, I really had problems to get the color on the paper. It didn't blend that well. You can see all types of white spots in here. No matter what pencil, it didn't work that well. And even blending here on the Caran didn't work well. So that's pretty much why you need a good paper. If you print coloring pages for yourself, use a good paper so that your pencils really work well, because these pencils, well, I would say it doesn't count for Castell Art Supplies, but these three here are top artist brands, and that's why you really need a good paper to work with them. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you would like to see a video of comparing those pencil brands to each other, and if you would like to see more colors, leave a comment and I will do that. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.